Fortunately, his range is slightly weighted more towards bigger hands. Um, if he had like a pocket fives or sixes, he might just open jam the stack. But in earlier position, he's a lot less likely to. So um, obviously, some of the hands that he has, we're going to dominate. I've been quite aggressive, and so yeah, definitely just three bet, get it in there, and no need to like three bet really big. You want to give him room to think he can four bet jam. Yeah, he knows that he's getting called, but but um, and he's never just flatting you because he doesn't suck. So you don't have to worry about that. So yeah, just do that. So we're up to fifth in chips. It looks like Mestra Flip and Inheritance are in the top 10 in chips too. They're both really good. Ape Styles is still alive. He's really good. 12er is pretty good. Um, those are the only regs I recognize though, and so it's a good thing. The good players are quite good, but I think there's not a ton of great players. Pair of Nothing might be good. Seems like he's been making some good plays, um, but let's OPR him and see what his results are like. Yeah, yeah, massive winning player, tiny sample at the 80 level. Okay, it's tiny sample, so not necessarily, but massive winning player 80 level, tiny sample. So he had some sick huge score, but he's deep in this tournament, and he has fairly good results, even though it's only like 500 tournaments. So most like I'm just going to give him a red. There's not that many people who get reds anyways, so I'm pretty liberal with giving them out just because unless I start seeing something that makes me think he's not very good. But watching him play, I already thought he was pretty good. So and this is a weird three bet size or four bet size because if he gets shoved on, he's going to be getting 2 to 1, and so he's supposed to call pretty light. Um, and if he's bluffing, then he puts himself in a gross spot because he almost has to call off with whatever hand he bluffed with. Um, so like I would think that it's just weird for him to do that, and it just looks stronger. So maybe that's what he's thinking. Is it's a hand that he was willing to go with, like say maybe eights or something, but four betting the smaller amount just looks stronger. So this guy's more likely to fold hands than, or maybe he's more likely to fold a couple types of hands than if he just straight up shoved. So there's some merit to that thinking, or maybe he just doesn't know what he was doing. He's three bet is really small, but we'd be out of position and with a hand that's really hard to play. So I'm just gonna fold this to a three bet. Yeah, I'm just gonna fold that. This guy might be okay. I don't know. I'm gonna give him an orange for tourneys at least. Yeah, but these are some of the only names I recognize in the tournament, or these players at my table. Um, yeah, so that's good. I want to search Gags 30 just because I've seen him a bunch of spots today, so he's definitely playing a lot. Doesn't mean he's good, but he could be. Yeah, he's a massive winning player. Okay, so Gags 30 is another big winning player. Big winner. At a in a over a big sample. Okay. Queen 9 suited, we'll just fold to the under gun raise. We're getting to a point though, the stacks are plenty deep where we can be like flatting raises against people. Here, for example, like if we were a big blind, I would definitely defend Queen 9 suited. The only reason I might not here is because then big blind, can just jam. Yeah, actually I'm going to call here though. If big blind jams, then we fold obviously, but yeah, and that's a good start. So we'll just go ahead and donk here. Actually, we'll check. I'm gonna try to mimic like I have like a medium pair or something. so that when like a big card comes, he might try to bluff me, and then I might just go for a value bet on the river. Check raising here is a little too obvious, so but maybe not. Maybe that'll prompt him to try to make a move. We are deep stacked, so he could easily think that I'm doing this as a bluff. 62 in the middle. We're never getting away from this hand now. Okay, that's slightly unfortunate, but I have to protect myself there for when I like check raise like semi bluff, like a small pair or something, or like air. So, which means I have to do it when I actually have a queen sometimes. And it's just a really good spot for me to check raise bluff him. If he doesn't have like a big pair or a queen, then he can't continue. So if I had nothing, like say I called him with like 8-7 suited, then it would be a good spot for it, and he knows that. So then he might actually play back at the check raise, or like call me down light or something. So. And I just want to do something that like gives me a more aggressive image, like that way I'm more likely to get action when I actually have hands. This is just asinine. This guy put in 10k of his like 35k, and now he's tanking. Min raise, 7x stack, in what the hell? Early position. Just called 3-bet for 90% stack. Called shove on 877. That is like so idiotic. Oh my god, that's brutal. I mean, it's no different than if he had just open shoved, which is what he's supposed to do, but it just makes you sick when someone plays so idiotically and then gets there. It's just so disgusting. With ace jack O, ROFL. I mean, that's just like ridiculously terrible. Or maybe he's like, he knew that, no, he's just a terrible fish. Okay, so, terrible fish at $7 level. Here we'll just be opening for sure. 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. And probably be forced to call death, but we'll see what happens against these guys. I've been hyper aggro. This guy's 3-bet me once already. So slightly less likely to do it after having just done it. With the big blind sitting out, this is pretty much a must raise, especially since I actually have something. But it's so obviously a must raise spot that someone, and I've been so aggro that someone can obviously 3-bet us pretty light here. But if they do, we're just going to give this one up. It's because they have a lot of chips, both of them. So, but yeah, it looks like he's a fairly competent 3-better. It's a pretty tempting spot to 4-bet cram. But if I do it with ace-8 off, then I'm basically doing it with every time I open. So since this is nearer to like the middle or the bottom of my range, I'm just going to fold. But if I had like ace-jack suited, I probably 4-bet cram there, at least a decent amount of the time. But that's the way you want to think about your 4-betting range. So hopefully we get 3-bet again. Or that. If I flat here, it's pretty stinking obvious what I have, so I'm just going to 3-bet 20, 4, 5, 5, 5. Flatting there is just too obvious, especially when he only has like 16 big blinds or something. So 3-betting this size is what I would do with like pretty much my whole range, 9s or whatever that I'm willing to get in against him on these stack sizes. So I want to do that with my aces as well. And hopefully we can get some action here. unfortunately we don't. If we're a little deeper, flatting there becomes better, because then someone might try to squeeze or something. But in that particular situation, I think with his stack size, it is just too obvious if we flat. And stacks are deep enough that a pretty, like deep stacks behind us can flat too, and then we'll be puking our brains out when like a bad flop comes down. Us and Mikado are deep enough that we could definitely flat a 3-bet here. This guy I've got covered by enough that I'll probably just 4-bet cram on him if this happens, which we were, is not too surprising that it did happen, especially considering how light I've been opening. So if someone cold 4-bets or something, then we'll probably just fold. But yeah, there's 50 in the middle. He's got 127 behind. He's 3-bet us before. He's a winning player, so he could definitely be doing this light. Eights is more near like the topish part of our range, so we can't just fold and we can't really just flat. So I'm just gonna cram and get coolered. Sick. Oh, sick flop. Let's get there one time. Oh, sick brick. God. So sick. God, how do I whiff that draw?